guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and I haven't done my weekly spreads that I started on the little series I started in a couple weeks. I've had a lot going on, a lot of doctor's appointments, a lot of health stuff going on. So I thought I would go ahead and do one tonight while it's still kind of daylight a little bit. And I'm using my Bonfire Tarot because I haven't really bonded with this deck and I haven't really used it. It seems very busy to me. So I thought I would kind of give it another chance here with this. And I'm actually doing a spread that's in the book. It is a past, present, future spread, but it's winter, spring, winter, summer. I've never done a past, present, future spread before. Not really. So, I'm going to do that for this deck because there's only one card spread. There's only a 1 card spread in there and then a 9 card spread in there. I'm like, I don't have the patience to do 9 cards right now. So yeah, as per usual, when I'm doing these little videos in this series, I'm going to be pulling a card. I'm going to do a little breathing meditative exercise to kind of clear the energy. And then I will pull the cards as I'm doing the video. And so here we go. So I'm going to first use some Palo Santo to kind of clean the energy here because I haven't really used this deck. I have, when I first got it, I kind of cleansed the energy a little bit, but not crazy. And then myself, there we go. So now I'm going to do a kind of breathing, and these are very glossy cards. Kind of shake them off here, kind of shuffle. This helps cleanse them, clear any bad juju energy. I'd like to say, off of it. So, yeah. So here we go. I'm going to do a little bit of breathing here, and then I will pull for spring, winter, and summer, or past, present, future. Or present, past, and future. Spring is present, which is card 1. So bear with me just a moment. Okay, so now we're going to do present or spring. Present. And then winter for the past. And then summer for the future. Okay. So there we go. Let's set the deck here. So for the, I'm going to just read it here. It says, it's the Beltane 3-card spread. Lionel's Beltane 3-card spread relates to seasonal energies and elements of the season of renewal and cleansing. Card position 1 represents the spring and read at this time of year, the present. The energy of a card residing on this spot may be exaggerated to a high intensity, which may threaten to become overwhelming and burn you up. You're asked to let this happen. Allow it to become big and penetrate all aspects of your life. This well-developed energy may ignite a fresh vision while burning away old grief, cleansing and allowing energy to flow uninhibited. And we have the Nine of Wands. And I see the Nine of Wands in this particular deck as, normally I see the Ten of Wands as he's carrying a heavy burden, but it looks like he's been through some stuff in this card. And I think it's funny because I just had pulled this card the other day for my card of the day. He's been through the ringer. He's got a cut on his forehead. He's been through it. And from what I just read about this card being the present, he's being asked to let this go. Let the past be the past and leave it there. Even though this is the present card, it's affecting his present. Me. So the bad stuff has come and gone. He's been through it. He survived it. And yet he's still clinging to this. And I've been getting that message a lot lately where it almost feels like I'm still clinging to these old ways, it's like my excuse to not continue, or maybe have somebody even feel sorry for me. Oh, I've been through this and I've been through that. Don't you feel bad for me? Kind of deal. And I'm not meaning to be that way, but I've noticed some people's reactions when I'm talking to them. I have that reaction where I've been through it. They know I've been through it. It's time to let it go. So that's the message I'm getting for that card for the present. So for card 2, it says, and we have the Hanged Man, and it's, I don't do reversal, so it's the Hangman. Card position 2 represents the winter and that which is passing. The card placed here will contain the chills that may be trying to creep into spring. Reflect upon the winter and what it was like. What cold shadows are best left melting away, and what are the brighter lessons to carry with you? And to me, that is the perfect card for that statement. Is the Hangman. Is you've been through the ringer. You've reflected on everything. And now it's time to take what you learned from it and move forward and stop holding on to it. And there's a lot going on in this card. A lot. And it's time to reflect and what you've take what you're supposed to take with you and leave the rest behind. Is what I'm getting out of that. So that's pretty cool. So then we have card 3, and this is for the future, summer. The Page of Swords, and it's, I've been getting a lot of swords lately. Represents the summer and that which might be important to take into the remainder of the year. The card here will suggest a fiery message of how that spring energy might best be applied and realized. What might we actually manage to accomplish or achieve from that ignited passion, and what might be the method or vessel for this materialization? And I cannot believe it just said materialization, because I've been talking a lot about materialization, manifesting things, and to me, materialization is the same thing. You're manifesting these desires, you're manifesting things. You can also manifest negativity as well. And I think it's fitting that I got a swords card, because to me, the sword suit is all about the mind and what you're choosing, how you're choosing to think, and how you're choosing to spend your mental energy, whether it be negative or positive. And that's what I've been learning over the last year, is your mind is a powerful tool in learning to navigate daily life. If you think positive you will attract it. If you think negative, you will attract negativity. And I love that for that. And the card here will suggest a fiery message of how that spring energy might best be applied and realized. What might we actually manage to accomplish or achieve from that ignited passion? What might be the method or vessel? So I'm just thinking it's talking about the spring card here. How can we move past this? And I love the Page of Swords. It's all about, like I said, your mindset. And the page is like, to me, like a child. They're always like the teenager of the court cards. So in my mind, with how can I overcome this, is to kind of go back to that me that wasn't so cynical, that wasn't so the glass is half empty all the time. Go back to that person and start from there again. Go back to the basics and start over with relearning to form my ways of thinking in my mind to get past this. And that's what I see in that. That's crazy. So let's go into the book here, and I'm going to just read real quick because there's a lot on each card. What the Nine of Wands says here. If I can find the wands. Nine of Swords. Where's the Queen? 9. Nine of Wands. Energy generated from a time of retreat. Created blocks blasted to smithereens. Bringing a project to conclusion. Expending great energy. Bonefire says the Bonefire Nine of Wands is a very different chap from the RWS. This man comes charging from a cave that blazes behind him. The wands inside are torches which have illuminated his path through the darkness and out into the light. The man is older yet still strong. He has vanquished his foes. Here I depicted the Bonefire as a heap of burning human bones. He has his victory, but in a contrast to the Six of Wands, where the huntsman is at peace and has awakened his consciousness, this man has a wound across his forehead where his third eye might be. Ooh, interesting. What he has seen in the cave we cannot know, but it has taken its toll and he is now not yet at peace with it. This man will be scarred for life. The ugly gash can taint his every further action, or the healing can leave him enlightened by the experience, but the wound is fresh and deep. That gives me chills because that's basically what I was saying. He's been through the ringer, but he can choose to change his mind and leave it in the cave. Leave it there. What he... I lost my place. He is out in the light now, but still in movement, not yet at rest. The Nine of Wands represents an escape. You have been confined by an area or way of doing something, and you have stood your ground. You put up with it as long as you could, but have been forced to bust out and break free. The Fiery Wands brings you the energy and will to make this really happen. Wow, I love that. And there's quite a bit more, but I'm not going to get into all that. But that's crazy. And then we're going to go to the Hangman. Okay, the Hangman. Choosing isolation, self-sacrifice, and martyrdom. Deriving value from the gratitude of others, existing, not living. The appearance of contentment despite discomfort, refusing fun. A passion for misery, an alternative perspective, shame, a midlife crisis. So those are all like keywords. Bonfire says, now if you were to come across a hanging man in an ancient wood, dangling from a rather dead-looking branch over a shallow river, I'll wager once you had established he was not caught in an animal trap, you would be compelled to shout up and ask him what on earth he was doing, hanging by one foot in his underpants. My first thought would be, this is a man in need of some assistance, but it physically be it physically or in the general area of his sanity. Seeing the man to be in no distress, you would leave him to his own devices and head home to do a little research on the matter. Soon your amusement would give way to understanding you had been a voyeur of an ancient ritual. Hanging upside down is a bygone tradition, where a man would string himself up in a symbolic depiction of sacrifice. His body is not harmed, but greatly uncomfortable. Nobody assembled to watch, and this was no act of vanity. It was an undertaken in a spiritual search for meaning and life purpose, harking from times when men had no knowledge of their role in reproduction. They experienced none of the agonies and dangers of childbirth. They saw the transformation woman went through as they became mothers. They had no such watershed in their lives. This act of self-sacrifice could be a painful way to bring about some enlightenment for themselves. When the hangman comes up in a reading, I often see it as a midlife crisis card, falling as it does in the middle of the major arcana and directly after the adjustment or justice card. This crisis is characterized in many mockings way, but is really the very pointed need for an adult to make significant life changes to finally nourish a hungry, neglected soul. Wow. I think it happens to every human. We arrived at the notion that there must be more, and once settled, it begins to work its magic. In response, we may force some change. It's a very spiritual urge, but if we are not so inclined, it may continue to manifest in a rather material way until a more suitable means is discovered. Wow, this book is deep. Deep, y'all. Deep. Oh, and then we're on to the Page of Swords. I'm scared. And it's a little bit smaller. 1 second. So, it doesn't have as much on the these cards as it does the major. Says bright. I can't even hold that way. Hold on. Let me hold it with this hand. Bright, young intelligence, a keen, immature mind, lack of confidence, the danger of nativity. I can't even say the word. I know the word. Naivete. A cautious backwards glance, being defensive. More information is required. And that's for the keywords. Bonefire says the Page of Swords is her own worst enemy. She has a wonderful brain, but full of ideas. Oh, I say that all the time. I'm my own worst enemy. That's awesome. A great student, she works hard to have her efforts rewarded and has received accolades since early childhood. Growing up this way has made her competitive. This page is anxious to release and nervous of the disapproval of elders and superiors. She has a natural respect for authority. The card may represent a young person who has pushed him or herself so hard they have reached places in academia, usually reserved for the more mature. Reaching these heights has left them dizzy and emotionally out of their element. Wow. Oh, this is crazy. This might indicate you feel out of your depth. You received a promotion and are not so confident with your new duties. Perhaps you even misrepresented your abilities, overstating qualifications, and could be revealed as not having the chops for the job. I've been told I have the chops for a certain job, but I still don't feel like I do. Without further education. Wow. Matters of your own making are beyond your control, and the page has you looking behind to see where you went wrong and to discover where you could make an adjustment. Perhaps you thought too hard on a subject and gave it so much time and energy you can no longer find the woods for the trees. You may need a different perspective, take a broader angle on a problem to see the bigger picture. A final thought of the Page of Swords asks if you're being controlled by a number of people. Are you trying to fly away, but their strings hold you back? Are you on a flight of fancy and dragging others on a risky ride? Are you steering them or they you? Try to redress the balance. Right now you are in a somewhat sticky situation and it will require a cool head and razor sharp mind to think your way out. Wow. See, this is why they say don't judge a book by its cover, because I thought this deck would be too busy to work with, and it just blew me away just now with this reading. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns on any of these cards, let me know. This was my tarot spread for this week. I'm going to try to get on top of it and do one every Saturday, like I've been doing, but like I said, last couple of weeks got away from me with all my issues that were going on. But yeah, that is the past, present, future spread from the Bonfire Tarot. This book is amazing. Yeah, well worth it. But yeah, if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And you guys have a great night. And bye.